What is up, guys? Yugiprotege here, coming at you now with another deck profile. This one is a very fun deck, actually. This is a Super Defense Robot deck. For those of you that don't know what the Super Defense Robots are, it is these three monsters right here. Pretty much what they do is they all special summon each other out. And the level 8 one right here makes either one of the other two level 8, so you can go for those level 8 machine XYZ monsters. So let's get into this profile. Okay, guys, getting right into this deck profile, we got 3 of these Super Defense Robot Monkeys, 3 of the Super Defense Robot Leos, and 3 of the Super Defense Robot Elephants. That's 3 of each one of these Super Defense Robots. Really the key cards in the deck. Next in the deck, we have 3 Giant Rat. Giant Rat's good in this deck because it allows you to special summon out any one of the Super Defense Robots. Or obviously another Giant Rat. That's pretty much why we're running 3 of them. Helps you get to your Super Defense Robots faster. And then get into your rank 8 XYZ plays or whatever you may go into. 2 Reflect Balancer. Really just in there because he's 1700 beater, and his effect when your opponent attacks this monster while he's in attack position, at the start of the damage step, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attacking monster's attack. If you do after damage calculation, destroy this card. But 9 times out of 10, if your opponent's attacking over this, obviously it's going to be destroyed anyway at the end of the damage step. So then we're playing 2 Top Runners. These are the tuners of the deck. Helps us get into our level 8 synchro plays. It's pretty much what he's in there for. And also, while he's on the field, all face-up synchro monsters gain 600 attack points. So that's another boost if, let's say, you get Scrap Dragon out or something, and you draw it into the second one, you just drop it onto the field, and Scrap Dragon becomes 34. And then this is where the deck takes a little bit of a twist, because I looked up a lot of Super Defense Robot decks, and they're pretty much straightforward, just Super Defense Robots and stuff to get the level 8s out. But in this deck, I am playing 3 Ancient Gear Galvatron Dragons, and I'm also playing 3 Gear Town, but we'll get to that later. The reason I'm playing these is because with Gear Town, well, actually, I'll just explain it later. Okay, so the 3 Ancient Gear Galvatron Dragons, I'll just put them up here. Alright, and then triple Gear Town. Kind of self-explanatory. It's a field card, and when this card gets sent to the graveyard from the field, you can special summon out any Ancient Gear from the deck, like Ancient Gear Galvatron Dragon. So that kind of helps get couple of level 8 3000 beaters on the field without having to sacrifice. That's pretty much why they're in there. And then 2 MST and double trading, because we are playing 6 level 8 monsters in this deck, so you might want to be able to ditch a couple of them here and there. And with Gear Town, if your Galvatron Dragons are in the graveyard, you can still special summon them with Gear Town's effect, so that works out pretty well. Then the 1 Dark Hole, 1 Book of Moon, 1 Pot of Duality, and 1 Creature Swap. Now, Creature Swap is for when you get late game, if you draw into Creature Swap, and all you have left is like one of the Super Defense Robots. That's the... Hold on, let me go. If you have one of these 2 left, you just summon them to the field, and then Creature Swap with one of your opponent's monsters, and then obviously attack over this. But that's in case you get into a jam. And that's it for the spells in the deck. And then for the traps, we're playing 2 Magical Hats. And this is why I put the Gear Towns in here, because if you open with, let's say, Giant Rat and a Magical Hats, you drop Magical Hats face down, and you summon Giant Rat face up attack position, and then you just let your opponent attack. When your opponent attacks, activate Magical Hats, and it says select 2 non-monster cards from your deck and 1 monster you control. So you select 2 of the Gear Towns, and then obviously your giant rat or whatever monster you have on board. And then from there, at the end phase of the turn, at the end of the battle phase, the 2 cards you selected that weren't monsters get destroyed, which means Gear Talon's effect goes off because it was on the field. It goes to the graveyard, and you get to special summon 2 Ancient Gear Galvatron Dragons from your deck. Pretty much it. 2 Fiendish Chain, 2 Mirror Force, 2 Cylinder, because you really just want to stop your opponents from attacking into everything you have on the field. So you can get into those level 8 XYZ plays or into the synchro plays. So that's why we're playing the Fiendish Chain, Mirror Force, and Cylinder. So you can kind of protect your monsters for a little bit while you set up for those plays. And then last but not least, we're playing 2 7 Tools of the Bandit, because that back row is going to be a real bugger. And I like 7 tools because you can stop Mirror Forces, you can stop Cylinders, you can stop Deep Prisons with 7 tools. So when you go for those attacks, at least you know your monster's safe for that one attack. Alright, and that's the main deck. It's 40 cards. So we're going to go into the extra deck. In the extra deck, we're playing 1 Zen mains, because you are playing level 3s in there. I think one of the Super Defense robots is level 3. And, where's the other one? Yeah, well, one of the Super Defense robots is level 3. So you get 2 of them on the field. If you don't draw into 2 different kinds of the Super Defense robots, you just summon them and go into Zen mains. 1 Girgan X, 1 Photon Popple Operative. This card gets me out of a lot of jams with this deck. 1 Maestro, 1 Fairy King, 1 Cowboy, 2 Googly Eyes. Now this is the key level 8, rank 8 XYZ that you go into, because his effect is when he has a material on him and he gets sent to the graveyard, you can banish 1 Super Defense robot from your graveyard and special summon him back to the field with a material. So that comes in handy quite a bit because you are playing the 9 Super Defense robots, so you have quite a few of them either in the grave or underneath him so you can get them. And his other effect, you send 1 of his materials to the graveyard and he becomes 4,000 till your opponent's end phase. So that helps out a lot with getting over those monsters that your opponent throws out that you can't just normally attack over. Next we have a Gimmick Puppet of Leo. He's just in there because if you can get him off early game, his effect is if you control no cards in your spell and trap zone, detach 1 material. If you do, put 1 destiny counter on here. After 3 destiny counters, you win the game. His effect isn't one that you can get off often, but I did get it off once or twice. But it's just kind of in there if you think you can get it off and you can get it going early game, then go for it. You know, kind of OTK your opponent as fast as you can. 1 Gimmick Puppet of Strings, another level 8 that you can go into, and 1 Utopia. I don't know why he was all the way at the end, but okay. And that's the XYZ portion of the deck. For the synchros, we have 2 Crimson Blader. The reason we're running 2 is I found myself going in Crimson Blader a lot more than any of the other level 8s I'm playing. So we're playing Crimson Blader, 2 of them. 1 Stardust. Everybody's putting Stardust in any synchro deck that they can get into synchros. They're putting Stardust. And then my personal favorite, 1 Scrap Dragon. Kind of self-explanatory. My personal favorite synchro is Scrap Dragon, but I only have 1, so we're only playing 1. And we're going to do the side deck. For the side deck, I'm running 1 Overworked, 1 Phoenix Wing Wing Blast, 1 Negate Attack, 1 Warning, 1 Compulse, 1 Regeki Break, 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Torrential, 1 Creature Swap, 1 the 3rd MST, a Foolish Burial, Ancient Gear Knight, Card D, another Top Runner, and Gear Spring Spirit. And that's it for the deck profile, guys. So just comment, like, subscribe. Tell me down below what you guys think about this deck profile. Tell me if there's anything you guys think I should change in the deck, or anything you guys would change in the deck.